Hi everyone, welcome to our latest video. Pleased to be able to show you today this quite striking and really nice condition Yamaha FZ1S, otherwise known as the Phaser 1000. This is obviously the second generation Phaser 1000, and this particular bike is a 2007 56 plate, so an early 2000 registered, I believe end of January, beginning of February 2007, and she's covered just a shade under 22,000. I think the current mileage is 21,986 or something quite close to that. But what a really lovely clean bike for a bike that's now approaching 11 years old, and as I say, 22,000 miles, which of course is nothing for one of these bomb-proof engines, which is of course the heart of any FZ1. And this is 150 brake horsepower inline 4, and it's actually a detuned version of the R1 engine that was fitted in the 2002-2003 Yamaha R1. So ultimately what this bike is a sports tourer that leans heavily towards the sport, I guess. We've actually got a naked version of this bike in stock at the moment as well, and arguably in naked form it's a bit of a hooligan's tool, but as you can see, you put a half fairing on the bike, which gives you plenty of wind protection, as well as a nice looking machine. And if you like doing shorter tours, for example, then it'd be an absolutely superb bike for that. Having said that, it's also an absolutely fantastic bike for scratching around on a Sunday, and just as capable as carrying out a track day if you're that way inclined. So as I say, she's done just under 22,000, but I personally think that the condition of it is in contrast to the age and mileage. I certainly think it's one of the cleaner ones you'll find, and it's got some really nice additions as well from the previous owner. You've probably spotted already this really nice Remus exhaust, which is carbon tipped. In fact, you've got carbon over the entry point. As I say, carbon tipped there as well. Sounds really nice, even with the baffle in, but of course that baffle's removable if you wish. You can also see that the previous owners fitted HEL braided brake lines. They're actually reasonably new, and you can see they've been fitted to the rear and the front. And the front have been fitted in the race style, where we've got direct link to each caliper, so no crossovers. So I've got the Remus exhaust, the HEL braided brake lines. You probably already spotted on the back when we showed you the registration plate that we've got a tail tidy there, still retaining the original indicators, which I think is quite a nice look. Doesn't look overdone. And then you can also see on the back there a very recent DID gold chain and Super Sprox rear sprocket. Always think gold chain and sprockets just really set a bike off nicely, and of course it's one less service item for the new owner to consider. I'll do some close-ups while I'm down here. You can see the rear shock there, really clean. As with all FZ1s, if you look very closely, just the very start of some surface rust on the rear spring, but certainly nothing that's going to affect its performance, and unless you're on your knees looking closely, it's not really visible. But as you can see, the swing arm absolutely unmarked, no scuffs or scrapes from previous paddock stand use or anything like that. Little bit of wear there to the left heel guard, but obviously that's what it's there for. And again, looking at the left hand side of the engine cases are all blemish free. Move up to the tank. Now obviously the sun's shining this afternoon, so I'm not sure if you'll see, there are just a couple of tiny little blemishes on the tank. I mean, you know, we're being really fussy for a bike of this age and mileage, but I still stand by the fact that it's probably one of the cleanest examples you'll find. But it leads us up to the front of the bike, where the keen-eyed of you will have spotted already that we've actually got slightly lower bars on this. It's been fitted with these Renthal bars, which are actually slightly lower and straighter than the standard bars. It does give it a slightly more sporty riding position, but in fact that could actually aid touring as well, because whilst it leans you forward a shade more, it also means that you can tuck under that screen a little more effectively. And we've also got ASV adjustable levers, brake and clutch, and finally, if we do some close-ups on the front end, you can see on the front wheel there we've actually got brand new EBC brake discs. They were actually fitted by ourselves, and also brand new brake pads to match, of course. So with those braided lines and a full brand new set of EBC discs and pads, again, it's another expensive service item that any future owner hasn't got to consider for several thousands of miles. And you'll also see that the front forks have also been upgraded by MCT, Darren. Certainly, in my opinion, East Anglia's premier suspension specialist, Darren at MCT. So she looks good, really versatile bike, but also loads and loads of power, and with the upgrades, with the exhaust, the brakes, and as I say, those forks being tweaked, she performs really well. Now you'll also see we've got some really nice tyres on there as well. You can see the tyre depths, loads and loads of tread on the tyres there. And they're actually Metzeler M3s. So again, a nice sporty tyres, Metzeler Sportec M3s. Certainly good enough to do a track day. So the previous owner has obviously, you know, lent this bike more to the sporty side of things, to the touring, but lovely bike to ride. Okay, just doing some more close-ups. Again, there are some minor blemishes which it's impossible to ignore, but again, we're being really fussy. As you can see on the grab rail there, a couple of little chips on the grab rail that we haven't yet got round to touching up. And the same on the right side there. They really are quite minor, and they certainly don't detract from the overall look of the bike, but you know, worthy of note anyway. I'm guessing they're probably as a result of bungee straps or something like that in the past. But again, right side of the engine, absolutely unmarked, blemish free engine casings. Okay, so she benefits from a full service history. There's loads of stamps in the service book, and we've also got a wealth of paperwork to go with it, all the MOTs. The MOT is valid until the 19th of April 2019, so we've got a fresh MOT on her as well. Just been serviced by ourselves, as well as those new brakes. So let's get started for you. See the instrument panel do its self-check, and I was correct, the mileage is 21,986. I just have to pull the clutch in to start this, so forgive the camera just for a second. very difficult to represent an exhaust sound on a video, but that's a lovely sounding Remus. Been a very well cared for bike. Just give the throttle a blip. The Remus exhaust got a really nice sort of popping and spitting sound on the overrun. It's even more noticeable on the road, so lovely sound. And there you have it. Of course, it's only a brief overview, but just to summarise, this is a 2007 56 Yamaha FZ1S, otherwise known as the Phaser 1000, just under 22,000 miles with a full service history, 12 months MOT, and she's fitted with a Remus exhaust, tail tidy, HEL braided brake lines, Renthal bars, and probably other things that I can't remember, but yes, sorry to finish off the EBC brake discs and pads, and obviously the front forks set up by MCT of Stowmarket. I hope you enjoyed the video. This bike's available at 3995.